All right. Yo, we watched The Queen's Gambit. All right, yeah. So, Queen's Gambit, it's a Netflix TV show. Something like 7-8 episodes, about an hour long each. So the show centers around Beth Harmon, who's played by Anya Taylor-Joy, and it's kind of centers around her. She's like this tortured genius character in that like she's like amazing at chess. She's like a chess prodigy, except she's like dealing with the baggage of her mother's death and being sent to like a all girls orphanage in like the 1960s, which like rough. Yeah. I can see how that would follow you for the rest of your life. But yeah. And it kind of just goes through like the trials and tribulations of her career, and yeah. What were your general thoughts of the show?
So I enjoyed the storyline, enjoyed the show, but it had like a lot of like little issues that kept piling up to by the time I was done the show, I was like, bro, I didn't really like the show anymore. Like I liked it, but like it was good, but like
it's definitely one of those things where like you're like, oh yeah, I liked it, yeah, exactly, and then you like slowly you realize you actually didn't like it.
Yeah, like I think that the first issue was I watched the trailer for the show because we doing research, we got preparation. Got to see what the show's about or whatever. Watch the trailer, I'm like, oh wow, this is about to be like some American Horror Story, creepy, eerie,
like HBO Sharp Objects, like super intense.
What is going on?
House of Cards type drama,
type beat, super intense, and like it was intense at times, but it wasn't weird or creepy or anything. It was like, why did you shoot it this whole like dark kind of way?
And
if
even
it was
then,
gonna be not. It was. I mean, like, not saying that it's not hard to be an orphan or to deal with I don't think we said this.
We just did not see the quite as low as we thought we were going to see. It's intense. It deals with like intense topics, but never like the scenes that are shown or never get like, I don't know, they never feel like super, super intense. Like I feel like, at least when I was watching, like I didn't feel like, holy shit, like Anya Taylor-Joy's about to die, like.
Yeah, I mean,
besides,
granted, it is chess.
I mean, she deals with more than just chess.
Yeah, I mean,
addiction, depression, trauma.
There was no point where you thought she was ever going to be like down super bad because you
knew like the wild plot armor was coming.
Yeah, it's like.
Yeah, exactly.
You saw it in the beginning. I mean, granted, she did go through a lot. Like,
but we're not trying to like discredit this fictional character's struggles. Beyond that, another problem for me was that like the way it was shot, like the shots were good. I feel like they were like mechanically sound, if you will. Mm-hmm. Like, like, oh wow, like it was very conventional. Like it was very conventionally good.
One of the things with the whole like Netflix type thing was like. Yeah, it looks really well done, right? But like it's like when you're like, oh well, like it's produced by Netflix, it kind of just makes it seem like, all right, well, like shouldn't it be well done? Like shouldn't you?
It's your standard big budget drama affair.
Shouldn't it look well shot? And I will say that Netflix, shout out to you for the whole chess ceiling thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like the ceiling chess thing that they
and do. That's sort of like,
and it's dope. Like it looks cool.
And that's what we're trying to say. Like it's not like bad cinematography or anything like that. Like it's good. Like there are some great shots. Like as you said, like the chess thing, like it really helps you like understand visually like what like the number of calculations that chess players do each match. They also did a good job like at the chess tournaments, like montaging through these games, because like in real life, chess tournaments are very long because each game's like 4.5 hours.
Yeah, they made chess much
more
seem
dynamic, right?
Yeah, interesting. Than
you're just sitting at a table like doing this, and like, like the shots are like, oh shit, like they had like a pan around, so they felt like mad dramatic or whatever.
Yeah, and they had like they made the movements all swift, and like the whole like shot of the hands like punching the clock and moving super fast. Like they did like a whole game of speed chess thing that they shot, and that was super tough.
Exactly.
Like, I was like, oh wow, like
so there are good moments like that, but even then, like I feel like like the clever visual tricks that they used, eventually you kind of like tell where it was going.
Yeah.
Like it became a little predictable.
Yeah, I think specifically because they did this, as he was saying earlier, like this like pan shot of players playing chess. They used that maybe like 30 or 40 times.
Yeah.
And by like episode like 6 or 7, you're like, oh yeah, so they're gonna do another montage of a chess tournament.
Yeah. And then
to speed through the chess tournament when she gets to the final scene, and then the final scene is she going to they would do a lot of the dynamic dramatic pans, and you're
you're like, all right, I can see why this is happening. This is the dramatic match.
Yeah. And like, wow, it was interesting. Episodes 2, episodes 3, episode 4, you're like, all right, now you got to do something new, got to do something else, because I know how you're gonna attack this.
Exactly. And that kind of almost goes to another point that we're talking about, like the show, maybe it's not too long necessarily, but it definitely, the pacing, I feel like it drags a lot. And similarly, that's also due to the number of montages.
Yeah. Montage a lot of things. They montage friendships. I love the Jettison montage friendship thing that they did that. So like, you could be like, oh yeah, these characters have a strong bond, but like you don't, it's just
like they just told you it through like these shots of them smiling next to each other. So like,
and it seemed like they had like 4 or 5 each episode. You're like, damn,
like another one? Like,
okay, all right. You just wanted to get right through this character development, but have no
but
dialogue.
The thing is, like the montage will also like take place over one day, so like it feels like you time skipped. Mm-hmm. But then like they'll randomly put the date up because they need to like let you know how old the main character is and what year it is, and it'll be like, damn, this montage is really just one day.
Yeah, it's at most they'd montage like a weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
You get a weekend montage.
Beyond that, like, what do you think of the characters? Because like, I don't know, like I definitely felt ambivalent at best about like the characters beyond the main character.
I agree. I think it was more a testament to not to the acting, but to the writing, because I think the writing was weaker than the acting was. So like, there was just lines that just felt out of place or just overwritten. There was a lot of overwritten stuff.
Yeah,
there's this one black pharmacist. Like, not in a progressive way. He's not really a black pharmacist. Not in a we need black doctors, but more in a damn. They really got this black man giving out everybody pills, but he don't even know he just knows what the pills are. I guess he's a nursing assistant. He was at the orphanage. It doesn't even really matter how woke of a pharmacist he was. But his whole thing was, he would just spit like these Shakespearean lines in. I know it's 1963. They talked more properly than we do, I guess,
or
right?
something.
But like, he would be like, "I bid thee farewell," and you're like, "Bro, all right."
Exactly.
Or like, get out of here, bro. Like,
and then they have like, there's also these like 2 characters named Matt and Mike who are just there to basically explain to the audience what the chess tournament they're at is. And they just say,
we didn't want to add in a narrator, but here's these guys narrating. Or the main character's mother, oh, what move is that? And then Mike's like, oh yeah, that's queen to knight bishop 4 or whatever.
Wow, very conveniently done.
Thanks, Matt and Mike.
Thanks, Matt and Mike.
Oh man, I don't know. I just didn't really like them. Okay, if we were to find dislikable characters, it was those 2 to me.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't really care about the like. I don't really have strong feelings about them, but like I think that's just a testament to like how weakly every character that's not Beth, and even like Beth to a degree, honestly. Yeah, everyone else is just like, it makes sense that they're all there to serve Beth because the show is this like character analysis, but like there's just no reason that everyone else has to like be this much of a trope.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like, what's his face? Borgov or whatever.
Yeah, he's like the top guy that she has to beat by the end of the show.
And he's just this Russian man who just shows no emotion.
Yeah.
They're like, Borgov, he's like a machine. And they're like,
even
no
more-
man's a machine. And they're like, well, maybe he is. And it's like, all right.
Oh
Netflix.
my god! And even then, like he's right.
But
He's like your standard like stoic Russian dude, and like they even describe the way he plays chess as like oh, it was stifling, boring, and bureaucratic. You're like, all right, like I get it, they're the Soviets or whatever.
big Cold War vibe. The show itself was very abusively 60s, like
yeah,
everything Cold War, mistreatment of black people, aggressively annoying European. Maybe just because, you know, me as a person, I don't like the 60s. Maybe that's why it was like so annoying to me.
Maybe that time period wasn't so good for people.
But like I was just watching it just like, damn, man, like, bro, they're really in 1968.
Yeah, they want to let you know.
Yeah, like you can't forget it ever.
Exactly. And I feel like everything that we just kind of talked about when it comes to like lack of development for supporting characters, like abuse of tropes, abuse of the 1960s, can all just be like summarized in the character that is Jolene.
Yeah. So when I was watching the show, I just like she's introduced in the first episode. Jolene is this black woman who
is a fellow orphan, right?
Fellow orphan in the orphanage. And I when I see her and I see the way that they interact, like in the beginning, I was like on red alert, like, all right, they better characterize this girl.
Yeah, you're just like, oh,
like she better get some development. And then you're watching and you're like, oh man, look,
she's not gonna get development.
She just saved this white girl. All right,
okay,
all right,
yeah.
like maybe something's gonna come of it. And then you're like, damn, she's gone. And then it's like, boom. Oh, yeah, so she's the magical Negro, isn't she? And then the show was like, yeah.
Yes.
And then they were like, tenfold, yeah, she's the magical Negro. Basically, the magical Negro as a character is the stereotypical black character who's added into a story for like a white, where all they do is serve the purpose to enable the white main character.
And this gets like really bad. Like it's bad when they're like in the orphanage for like literally like the first episode.
Mm-hmm. And I think that you can have black
supporting characters.
There's the word.
Yeah.
I was gonna say side, but I didn't want to say side. You could have black because then it's like black side character. What does that mean?
yeah.
But yeah, you can have black supporting characters that do favors for white folks and not be magical Negroes. But when you look at the character and you're like, oh, so all of your development or all of your whole sole purpose is to make sure that this white person is okay and you're guarding
take care
over
of this
them.
white person. Yeah.
It's like, bro, that's not your job.
Exactly.
And
it gets really bad. Try not to like spoil anything. Like just like this, like Jolene, she's like the number of like sacrifices she makes, the way that like she like so selflessly helps Beth, Anya Taylor-Joy, is just feels so undeserving. Like for their relationship, it's just like out of pocket. It just does not make any sense why she would do some of these things to help Anya Taylor-Joy out.
Like if the show had done a better job of developing their relationship, I wouldn't have been so appalled at some of the things that she was doing for her. Like, because like I think that there's a part of me that watches a show that's already like looking out for, oh, how does this show like treat their characters of color, right? And when you try to make one important and then you only just use the trope, and it's like, I know for a fact that Netflix and their producers of the show have heard of the magical Negro trope.
Oh,
There's
definitely.
no way that anybody in that showroom hasn't heard of it. right? I mean, I just think that it just shows that like it's
Exactly.
they don't care.
And it's like everything that they know about it, just like from the way they write her too. Like the way she's written and her character is just like enveloped in this like pseudo, like really like corporate liberal wokeness.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh wow, like she calls the main character a cracker. Like, word, like, oh, so woke. The show is so woke, right?
Yeah. Literally, the last line she says is "Good job, cracker. Good job." That's so like.
That's just like that's just unexcusable.
That's
Like,
just not it. Not it. Netflix.
it's just like egregious levels.
Hashtag
And, like,
not it. But yeah, that's all I pretty much have to say.
but yeah, thank you guys for watching. This is our first video in a minute in a new studio.
Yeah, new environment.
New environment. But yeah, more content on the way, more videos on the way.
You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at The Rush Hour Pod.
You can check out our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or whatever podcast manager you use. We also have a playlist out. WRHP Radio Volume 4
Is out.
now. Apple Music, Spotify, check that out.
All of our links are in our Linktree in the description below. Once again, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.
Please subscribe.
Yeah, and we're out. Yeah.